famous Oriental Rabbanim. And over here, it's a Hilula here on Tet Zayin ER of a great rabbi. His name was Rabbi Rafael Abbo, who was one of the great rabbis of Israel since formation of state without a doubt, and came from very, very great heritage. We're going to explore the great positions he had. He was a Diyan in Israel and was an Abedin in various cities, including Bחיפה and Tel Aviv, and was a part of much, much greatness within regards to the Torah community in Israel. He was actually born in one of the four holy cities of Israel called Tzfat. Like we know that Tiberias, Tzfat, Hebron, and Jerusalem are the four holy cities of Israel. He was actually born in Tzfat and came from great lineage also. His father was Rabbi Yehuda Abbo, and his mother was Rabbanit Leah Abbo. Really, really great Rabbanim. It's actually interesting. His father was the son of Rabbi Avraham Abbo, who was the eldest of Rabbi Ishmael Abbo, the father of the Abbo family dynasty in the land of Israel. So it came from his grandfather and great-grandfathers. A great-grandfather was really, really great Rabbanim. He studied at the yeshiva, I think, of the Ridbaz in Tzfat, respectively, and then at yeshiva, Tfaret Yisrael, I believe, in Haifa, which was, he actually learned with Rav Dov Meir Rodman, also, if I'm not mistaken. And later on, he actually went to learn in the famous yeshiva, Yeshivat Porat Yosef, in Jerusalem, which we've spoken about before. I did an exclusive video on the history of the great Rabbanim of Porat Yosef only a couple of days ago over there. And the head of the yeshiva at that point in time was famous Rabbi Ezra Atiyah, who actually gave him his smicha. And after he got married, the great rabbi he moved to Tiberias, where he served as the director of the Sephardi Torah Talmud and the head of the Orach Chaim yeshiva over there, and which he founded actually in the city itself. And also he founded religious youth movements over there also for the people to be imbued in Torah and learn Torah study over there in those years. And then in the year 1947, I believe it was, Rabbi Atiyah was sent to Morocco in order to establish the branches of the Otzar Torah Education Network over there, in order to attract naturally many children who were sent to the Alliance Education Network. And it's interesting, in Morocco itself, Rabbi Abbo, who actually went to travel over there in order to do all this, Rabbi Abbo actually founded various yeshivot, different Talmudei Torahs over there, and many, many different religious Torah-inspired schools over there. And soon, at that stage in time, soon the Otzar HaTorah network in Morocco included thousands of students, which was people were really, really imbued within regards to great studies of Torah studies over there. And afterwards, it was actually interesting. After a period of about 3 years, he then returned to Israel. So he spent around 3 years in Morocco itself, respectively. And he returned to Israel. And in the early 1950s, he was appointed a judge, which is very interesting, I believe, in the court, the Jewish court in Tel Aviv, I think of Shmuel Yitzchak Yaffa. And shortly afterwards, he was appointed the Abedin in Haifa, and then later on was appointed a rabbi in Tel Aviv, Yaffa area, which is a very, very prestigious position. And then in the year 1964, he ran for the office of to be the member of the Chief Rabbinic Council, which was also very interesting. Later on, I think in the year 1981, he was appointed a Diyan, a judge, at the Great Rabbinical Court in Jerusalem, and a member of the committee that actually appointed judges, if I'm not mistaken, and held that position until he passed away. He actually founded a community also in the city, in that specific city, called the Or Raphael, and he did many Tanit Diburs, which we've spoken about in different videos before, about Tanit Diburs, speaking fasts, and which were very interesting. I believe he passed away in English year 1983, so we're talking about 41 years ago, and this just literally on the eve of Lag BaOmer, 2 days before Lag BaOmer itself, and it's actually very interesting. It's reported he actually participated in the traditional procession of the Abbo family from the Bet Knesset in Tzfat to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai's grave on Mount Meron with Torah scrolls. He actually used to bring over there. This was on the festival of Lag BaOmer itself. He was actually buried in the Nachlat Yitzchak cemetery in Givatayim. Givatayim is actually situated very, very near Ramat Gan and also Tel Aviv. He was a trustee of the Sephardi communities if I'm not mistaken, in the Rashbi Rav Shimon Bar Yochai's tomb in Meron, and was actually interesting. He had connections with many of the great politicians, including Golda Meir, if I'm not mistaken, where he actually really did. He had connections, but he was very influential within regards to fighting for religious positions and protection within regards to the sites in Meron and other Torah-related importances in Israel itself. He had the connections where he would actually be in charge to make sure that everything was correct under Torah guidelines and with different issues over there. Also, he had close relationships with Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, who was the chief rabbi, I believe, of Israel between the years 1973 to 1983. Also, Rabbi Mordechai Eliyahu, another great rabbi. Also, Rabbi Yaakov Rosenthal. Also, Rabbi Yoel Klopt, and also Rabbi Yisrael Abu Chatzer, the famous Baba Tzali. Also, he was an expert with regards to the dinim of Gittin, if I'm not mistaken. Also, he was married. His wife was Rabbanit Margalit, who was actually the granddaughter of Rabbi Rafael Ohana, who was also a very great rabbi, also, who maybe we should a great Moroccan rabbi and author of many books. Also, he lived in Nachlat Ganim neighborhood in Ramat Gan and taught many classes over there, which is very interesting. Let's explore his family for a minute. Also, had a lot of great, including Rav Eliyahu Sharim, who was Rav Shchunat Merkaz Mischari in Tel Aviv and Rosh Yeshiva of Torat for Ora. Also, Rabbi Mordechai Mizrahi, very good. He was rabbi of Ramat Yisrael neighborhood. I think also part of Tel Aviv. And Rav Michael Machluf Ben David, who was he? He was from Bnei Brak, and he had very prominent positions over there in the Rabbanut Yisrael also for many years. I think one of his grandsons was Rav Dvid Sharim also, who wrote the book Da'at Rafael also, which is very interesting. And also another one of his descendants, I think a grandson, was Rav Matityahu Sharim, who was head of the Mostot of Torah Vorah in Tel Aviv, if I'm not mistaken, and many great Rabbanim also. And then they had a lot of connections with Meron within regards to Sephardi community over there. They travels over there, very important to know about. And it's his Hilulach here. As I said before, his rabbis included Rabbi Dov Meir Rodman, also Rabbi Ezra Atiyah, the great rabbi of Parat Yosef, respectively. Also passed away in English state the 29th of April 1983. Respectively, was around 70 years of age. He was buried in Nachlat Yitzchak, as I stated before. And he worked, just to look into it, he worked in Tiberias, he worked in Morocco, we said he formed many institutions there, he worked in Tel Aviv, he was a great rabbi there, he was a Diyan in Tel Aviv and in Haifa, also in Ramat Gan and Jerusalem. It's his Hilulach here. Please, I urge everyone, light candles in the great rabbi's memory and learn more about the great Sephardi Rabbanim of yesteryear. We've already covered around 200 videos of the great Rabbanim, very important. We learn more about them, hopefully we'll write a book and publish it at one stage. And wishing you all a great day, meaningful day, and take care.